talked a lot about spring games and the possible disappearance of them. Not doing one at Texas. Right. NC State is shutting all of their spring, everything down. No access whatsoever to anything that they do in the spring for anybody. Nebraska, Matt Rule, pretty outspoken about we shouldn't have a spring game because of tampering and stuff like that. They are going away. We learned today that in Oxford, that is happening as well. Ole Miss will not be having a spring game this year. They'll practice a couple times a week throughout the spring. Media will have some access, so you are going to get videos and stuff like that from practice, so at least there's going to be some access. But no spring game for Ole Miss. Part of the growing trend. I figured they would do something like they did last year, but no spring game at all. And we're going to tell you what they're replacing it with in a second. I'll be honest with you. Just from a content perspective, I am disappointed that we won't get to watch that and come on here on Monday and talk about what Austin Simmons looked like for the first time as the guy.
Yeah, again, from our selfish point of view, spring games are a good thing, right? They give us a chance to watch them practice in a controlled setting and have some ideas of what we'd like to forecast for the upcoming season. So from our perspective, yeah, I'd like to see a spring game. But from Lane Kiffin's perspective and these coaches, I kind of get where they're coming from, but at the same time, I mean, if somebody wants to poach your players, they're going to do it. So
they're going to do it.
You're not really hurting anything. Go ahead, though.
But they are replacing it. And this is something, if you listen to the show every day, this is something that I feel very passionate about. We hear from you guys all the time, and outside of the text line on this show, I talk to fans and hear from them all the time about how disconnected they feel from their programs now. It's just more expensive and harder to go, and you feel less important, but yet they're asking you for more money. We hear that sentiment all the time. So while Ole Miss is not having a spring game, for the first time in 6 years, they're doing a free to participate. All you have to donate is your time. Meet the team day. And that'll be coming up here in April. I'll tell you the exact date in a second. I thought I had it written down. That's on me. It'll be April 12th at 1 o'clock inside of the practice facility. And again, all you need to donate is your time. It is free entry for anybody that wants to go.
Are they guaranteeing all the players will be there?
This says, plan to join us on Saturday, April 12th at the Manning Center to meet current Rebel football players. It does not say all of them.
Okay.
So we'll just have to see, but before it happens. Here's a quote from Lane Kiffin given to the 24/7 site that covers Ole Miss. Quote, in keeping up with our program's pro mindset, we are taking a business-like approach with our spring drills with the focus of improving as a team. After careful thought, including the timing of other spring events, we determined it was best to not hold a spring game. We look forward to hosting a fan day for the Ole Miss family to engage with our players on a personal level. Apparently, he will also speak, and others will also speak to the fans as well. If you're not going to do a spring game, this is something that is an easy way to engage your fan base again. I can't believe it's been 6 years since they've done something like this. Again, this is one thing that I've talked about many times, that it should be a requirement that if you're going to play college football, you should have to participate regardless of what your NIL package is in something like this. And so for fans that maybe can't afford season tickets to 8 home games and can't do the Grove thing and all that stuff, if you're not going to have a spring game, this is a really cool thing that a fan that doesn't have a super amount of expendable income can take little Johnny to, and they can feel important and connected to their football programs again. So kudos to Ole Miss for not just shutting it down like NC State did and doing something that can engage your people. If you're not going to have a game, give the casual fan an opportunity to come see you for something that doesn't cost them any money. So good on them for at least doing this. Lane Kiffin hates stuff like this already.
Yeah, he doesn't like to speak. So yeah,
or meeting thousands of fans. Ugh.
Yeah, he's already out of his comfort zone on that. Yeah, as long as they're giving the fans something, and this is something that fans have asked about, right? These fan days used to be a really big deal. You'd get a few thousand people to swing through and get their posters autographed and things like that. So Now that's something else that again it doesn't really address it. Is it going to be one of those things? Do you have to pay? You say you have to only donate your time.
So
right?
As I understand it, it's free to
If you
enter.
show up, it's not going to be like it's $10 for a photo or anything, right?
As I understand it, I could be wrong. If somebody involved, correct me, please correct me. I believe it is free to enter.
Okay. Well, I'm not talking about free to enter, though. I'm talking about...
Oh, I would hope there's not pay $10 to take a selfie with a player with your own phone. I hope not.
Are they going to have like a QR code in front of them that you scan to donate? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I see both sides, right? If the player's like, well, if I got to donate my time, I got to bring my time to do this, maybe I should get something out of it. You may have some players who think like that. I don't know the answer. So I hope it's just that they are always like, hey, we're going to do this for our fans. Our fans deserve this. I hope that is the case. Our fans that are paying your NIL as it is, we're not going to ask them to pay more to show up. So we'll see. Still haven't heard from State. I'm expecting something to come out in the next couple of days or so, but hasn't happened yet.
Somebody in the text line says $50 NIL to hug Lane.
Well, I'll pay $100 for him to do.
He would make you pay $5,000 to do that. You're not getting a hug for $50. I hate to tell you.
I'll pay $100 for him to do two segments on this show. $100. $100 to the Loyalty Foundation in Brian Haydad's name for.
I will buy you a brick on the Walk of Champions, Haydad.
Well, I don't want that.
Brian Haydad says hotty toddy.
No, he doesn't. He definitely didn't say that.
The next time I get an email looking for money and like a brick or whatever, I might buy one.
But you can buy that. Don't put my name on it.
I will put it. Brian Haydad says hotty toddy, Starkville,
he does.
Mississippi.
I will find that brick and take a hammer to it. Absolutely not.
Okay, I need video of you walking around the grove, or the circle trying to find the brick.
I know you can call them and be like, hey, I have a brick and I was wanting to get a picture of it, and they know where they put stuff. No, don't do that.
I'm not going to have them tell you.
Well, you can't do that. What are you going to pay extra for silence? No. That being said, though, if Lane Kiffin will come on this show and do 405 to 431 with us, I will donate $100 to the Loyalty Foundation in my own name.
Okay, fair enough. There you go.
So that's out there, Lane. You want to get your program an extra C note? I'm here for you.
Somebody says, look, Lane Kiffin makes $10 million a year, so I get it, but spring games have worked for 100 years. Oh, well, the game I love is now a pro game I don't like. Now, I understand your sentiment. If they weren't doing anything at all, I would be aggressively against it. Mm-hmm. But again, but according to this, admission's free. So I don't know if there's going to be anything else inside, but I do like that there is now something again for a fan that doesn't have a big budget to go engage with their football team.
Yeah.
That needs to be a thing that happens everywhere. I can't believe it's been 6 years since they've done it, but at least they are now bringing it back.
They're doing something, yeah. So it's cool. Yeah. It's cool. Good job.
And if State does the same thing, I will give equal praise, by the way, because that's what fans deserve. So good on Ole Miss for at least engaging their fans in that way again for the first time in